Right, going on. 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 10. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil, which is bad times, upon the house of Jeroboam, and will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisseth against the wall, which is a man. Let me get a precept for that. Okay. So, verse 20. So, Deuteronomy 20 and 13. Sorry for the first 20. I mean, Deuteronomy 20 and 13. And when Yahweh thy power had delivered it into thine hand, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. This is what will happen to Jeroboam. All the men of Jeroboam will die. That's what the Lord said. 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 11. Because a woman cannot piss against the wall. You might be like, you're pissing against the wall, so that will actually is a saying for you pissing against your own feet. Well, it spatters, but it's talking about the men. And you can catch that here. Well, let me see that here. 1 Kings 14 and 10, which goes into, therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, and I will cut off from Jeroboam him that pisseth against the wall. If you look up this word pisseth, which is Hebrew 8366, one who urinates, used as a designation of a male. The action of choosing designation. The action of choosing someone to hold an office or post. And what do they hold? They hold the office of the bloodline of that man. That's what they hold. That's what they hold. That's their purpose. No, well, not purpose. That's their special status. They have the status of his house to bring forth his house and his bloodline as an individual. Because we are all the bloodline of Abraham, yes, but you still have individual houses, like the individual house of Levi. And then within the individual house of Levi, you have Samuel, his individual house. He's a Levite. So. And if I'm correct, was he? Damn, I'm lost it right now. Samuel. I'm thinking it's Samuel Levite or not. Wait a minute. He was a Levite living in Ephraim, if I'm correct. Oh, damn. Kind of forgot. Wait, sorry. Here. Yeah. 1 Samuel 1:1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zohim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroboam, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zub, an Ephrathite. Now, an Ephrathite is going into, let me see, this man went up to Shiloh, which is Ephraim. He was Manasseh, living in Ephraim. I did a video about this. Damn, I need to start revisiting that. But this is talking, look, when you look it up here, it's where Samuel 1:1. You look up this word Ephrathite, if I'm correct, it's going to say Judah. Inhabitant of Ephraim, and you also had an inhabitant of Bethlehem, because if you read here, the book of Micah 5, you will see here Ephrathah, Bethlehem Ephrathah. But you also had Bethlehem Zebulon. Here you have Bethlehem Zebulon. In the land of Zebulon, which was given to the children of Zebulon by the Heavenly Father. You had another place called Bethlehem there too. So yeah. You had also in the land of Issachar, which has been given unto the individual man of Issachar, his descendants, that land. You had in that land, you had a Jezreel. And also in the land of Judah, you also had a Jezreel. So, okay, enough of this because it's kind of confusing. But when you read it, you know. And then you know. Okay. So yeah, but he was a Levite living in Ephraim, because the bloodline of him is mentioned in First Chronicles chapter 6, and then you had here Samuel and the sons of Samuel. See, and this is the sons of Kohath. These are Levites. The sons of Levi. This whole chapter is of Levi. So Samuel is a Levi. He was a Levi living in Ephraim, and it says here, for example, listen closely. Here it says, oh sorry, I have it here already. Here it says that now there was a certain man in Ramathaim Zohim, okay. Ramathaim Zohim, okay. Remember this name. Now if you go to the book of Joshua 21, you will see what was it again? Sorry. Here, so okay, this word here is 2 times is the same word. In the country of Ephraim, yeah. But so, oh yeah, that's what I want here. So, okay, so it says right here. I typed in the wrong thing. Joshua chapter 21, verse 5, and the rest of the children of Kohath. Who is Kohath? Numbers chapter 3, verse 17. And these are the sons of Levi by their names, Gershom and Kohath and Merari. So Kohath is a Levite. Okay. Joshua 21 and 5. And the rest of the children of Kohath had by lot, you know, they cast a lot for that land. The Heavenly Father set it up like that. Had by lot of the families of the tribe of Ephraim. So what does that show you? Well, I have here a picture for you as to see, because a picture is 1,000 words. Therefore, I love it when the Heavenly Father gives me something to be able to show others. Like this is what it is, or this is what he said, or this is, you know, how to see it. It's not here? No. Then it's here. This one. Okay. So if you read the book of Joshua 21 and you see here, they'd be like, yeah, that's it. All the red places is where you had the I read Benjamin, so I wanted to say Benjamin. All the red places is where you see the Levites living in the midst of the Israelites. Why? Because that was their curse and their blessing at the same time. It was a curse, actually. Genesis chapter 49, verse. Well, let me see. Reuben got cursed, and then Simeon and Levi got cursed, right? So Genesis 49 and 5, Jacob cursed them. Genesis 49 and 5 is what it's talking about Levi and Simeon. So Simeon and Levi. Okay, let me go to verse 7. Curse be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. And then I have a precept upon that, which is these 2 precepts here, which is Numbers 35 and 8. And the cities which ye shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Israel, right? From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them that have few ye shall give few. Every one of you all of the Israelites, all the 12 tribes, shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to the inheritance which he inherited. 1 Chronicles 6:64. And the children of Israel gave to the Levites these cities for their suburbs, because the Levites didn't have no inheritance. And it is explained here, Numbers 18, verse 20. And Yahweh spake unto Aaron, Thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, because Aaron is a Levite. Neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part, and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. So, the children of Israel, all the 12 tribes, they had an inheritance as the land. But the Levites, their inheritance was the Most High. Why? Well, verse 21, and behold, I have given the children of the Most High, have given the children of the Levites, I have given the children of Levi all the 10th, so that's 1/10, in Israel for an inheritance. Why? For their service which they serve, they do the work, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And you might ask yourself, what is the tabernacle of the congregation? Exodus 33 and 7. And Moses took the tabernacle. What is that? He took the tent. The tent here. And how did he take the tent? Numbers chapter 1, verse 51. And when the tabernacle setteth forth, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, like how you pitch a tent, the Levites shall set it up. And the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. So you're going to die if you come close. Right. Okay, this is the tabernacle, okay? Exodus 33 and 7. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp, which is what you saw here. This is the tabernacle. And the rest of the people, the rest of the place, the tents are the people. You know, kind of visualizing, but yeah, only Levites were allowed here, and only in the back were allowed the other tribes. They were not allowed to come here just randomly. They would die. So, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of the congregation. Here is where the Ark of the Covenant was in. That is the tabernacle. Right. So, they do the service of the tabernacle. Neither must Numbers chapter 18 verse 22. Neither must the children of Israel henceforth come nigh the tabernacle of the congregation, lest they bear sin and die. So in Numbers chapter 1, it speaks about the strangers, which are the heathen nations that were in our midst. Exodus chapter 25 talks about that too, which shows you, Leviticus 25. Leviticus 25, it explains to you that I'm going to the point, 45. So Leviticus 25, 45. 44. But thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. So these are the people that lived in our midst. You had the Aram, Amalek, you had Moab, you had Ammon, you had those were the people that singled us, around us, right? Okay. Moreover, of the children of strangers that sojourn among you. So who was among us? Second Samuel 24. Verse 16. And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil, and said to the angel that destroyed the people, It is enough. Stay now thy hand. And the angel of the Lord was by the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. What does that show you? That show you that in the time of King David, you had people there that had land, because King David bought that land from him later on. He said it here. What is it again? Oh, Chronicles, not Corinthians. I was thinking of Chronicles. I typed in Corinthians by accident. So here you see that King David bought it for full price. From who? From Ornan in this case, but his name was spelled from the Hebrew to the English. And First Kings and Second Kings, First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, and the New Testament, they kind of mess up with the names and stuff like that. Yeah. So King David went and bought the threshing floor of Ornan or Aranua, the Jebusite. Okay, so okay. Judges 1:21. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem, because they was the first rulers there, But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem unto this day. Joshua 18 and 28. Well, I don't need to read that. Joshua 15 and 63. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, because they was there first, the children of Judah could not drive them out, because the Most High cursed us, because we were sinning, and therefore we didn't win wars. But the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. So they stayed there. Those were the strangers that was in our midst. And of them we could make perpetual slaves. And of also the other ones that was in our midst. That was surrounded us basically. Which is, you had Ammon, you had Moab, you had Edom. You had, down there is actually Amalek, and up there, up here, so above Dan, you had Aram. So, yeah. Here you had the Arabians. Wait, let me see. I think it's this one. Here. You had the Arabians. They were there. And the other Shemites and stuff like that, They was around us. Of them we could make bondmen and bondwomen. And also from the one that was sojourning in our midst, which were the Jebusites, the Canaanites and stuff like that. Even the Philistines, Because Solomon had Mizraim as wife. He had he had Moab and Ammon and stuff like that. And Aram. He also had Aram. King Solomon had Aram also. Okay, so enough of all this explanation thing. So basically, it was Levite Samuel living in the midst of Ephraim. I really do need to go back and, get all these remembrance things, because, damn, you get rusty. I don't know. I get rusty. But if, Lord willing, if I start talking about it, then things will come to mind. But yeah, anyway, let me go on back to where I was supposed to be. Well, everything is the Most High, but yeah, where I in my flesh, in my carnal mind, I was thinking of going a certain place, but the Lord willing, I don't know, I went there, which is let me just leave that, man. Okay. Pissed against the wall. It's a man. It's talking about the men. I think I can remove this all then. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 10. Therefore, behold, I will bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam, which is his individual house, and will cut off. Well, the Most High will curse all Israel, but just for this sentence sake, okay? Right. Don't give me like, hey, what did you? No, he did curse all of them, but in this sentence, that's what I'm focusing on. And will cut off from Jeroboam him that pissed against the wall. That's talking about the men. And him that is shut up and left in Israel. Those are the ones of Jeroboam that was left. Like, for example, how these men were left of the poor, others escaped and stuff like that, So the Most High is even going to chase and persecute them. He going to get them. You can't hide. Okay. So 1 Kings 16:11, and it came to pass when he began to reign, as soon as he sat on his throne, that he slew all the house of Baasha. That's his household. He killed them all. Well, this is another story, but still, it's the example of he that pissed against the wall and all that there, which all his sons. He left him not one that pissed against the wall. You see, pissed against a wall. Neither of his kinfolks nor of his friends. It's fucking wicked. He killed them all. You a friend of his, you die. Yeah. You're a friend of his, you die. You're a man, you die. You know, the woman, they probably wouldn't kill you. Because what can you do? You can only birth my enemies. But you can't birth his bloodline anymore because he's dead. So yeah. And what are women going to do? You know, even in the time of King David. Here, King David, what did he do? They counted the men of Israel, and that was a great sin. Oh, I have sinned greatly in that I have done. Yeah. And the Most High started to kill him, you know. But he counted the men. You don't count the women. Here, you count the men. So let's say you have 55 million women, right, of one land. I could make it even worse. 100 million. How about that? Just being realistic. Let's say you have 500,000 women and you only have 3 men on the island. How strong is that nation? That nation is only 3 men strong. That's only it can't. You can't, because yeah, that's as strong as that. It's gone. If you invade that land, man, that's a lot of puss over there, man. You know, you're gonna take them all, but the man, you kill him. What are you gonna do with him? You're gonna birth babies with him? He's gonna carry forth your seed? What do you think? You an Edomite? You a Caucasus? Maybe you should check your bloodline, man. Maybe you're an Edomite. If you start thinking like that one. Yeah, he can carry my seed, right? Really? Anyway, 1 Kings 16:11, I already read that, yeah? Amos 5:19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. The point is, you're not getting away. The ones that left, or basically the ones that were left behind, or the ones that fled, you know, of the house of Jeroboam, when the curse came upon them, upon his household. Okay. And the Most High is going to take it away like somebody take away shit. If you don't know what dung is, it's shit. It's feces, if I want to say it decent, so sorry about that. It's droppings. You know how you had goat droppings? Here, this is goat droppings. You know, for people that never, I don't know, maybe in America they don't know how goat droppings looks like, so they might not know. And sheep droppings is funny too. You know, it's kind of little berries. Look like berries. Why don't you eat that right there? Anyway, they grab this. Of course, it's an Edomite, so he gonna touch it. But you can make soil very rich with this. It's just grass, but I won't touch it like that. I'm not Edomite, you know. They touch skulls and all that type of stuff. Anyway, they work with forensics and dead bodies and stuff like that. But the Lord said, if you touch that skull, you're unclean. He that touches the dead bones. Unclean. Unclean. Got it. He that touches the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. But where's the bone part? Yeah, or a bone of a man. If you touch the body, the bone, or the grave, you know, you go to a grave, you touch it, yeah, you're unclean. You're done. You're unclean, my man. Don't be going around there, man. You know who goes there? At the tombs? They go there. Them people that got devils on them. Look, unclean, fucking unclean beasts right there. Is it a Moabite? Yeah, Chinese people. Asiatic. You know, they want to join forces. This beast is unclean, man. They go there and just take sexy pictures and stuff like that, man. They take sexy pictures, man. Pfft, boy, this ain't sexy, boy. But, you know, they call themselves taking sexy pictures, you know. Stuff like this. They do stuff like this, man. You know? I don't even know. But you know what? You know, that's like trying to get into the mind of a sodomite that loves suck. Boy, anyway, that's like trying to understand them. I don't know. I don't know what you see. I don't want to know. I don't want to have them spirits on me. They can change your mind. I don't want that. Okay, so if you touch that grave, yeah, whether it be a tombstone or whatever, well, it's the grave actually, where the dirt. Look, normal back in the days, the grave would be this heap. Here. This would be a grave. This is a grave. This is our original grave, you know? This is a grave. And if you touch this, you unclean. But nowadays, they got the tombstone. Okay, let's say the body is here, right? Do you know this thing? This thing, right? Let's say it's here. And it's covered up with grass because it grew over it. If you touch it, you unclean. But nowadays, they do have it in a coffin. They do have it in a coffin. So that's you know, I still wouldn't touch it. But still, you know, at the point, the thought is there. The thought is what counts. I wouldn't touch this grave. I wouldn't touch this cross. Sorry, I would damn sure wouldn't touch this grave because I see like no. That body's there. I ain't touching that. Touch that shit. But what do you have with the forensics? That's why these people love horror movie forensics study. I misspelled it. Ooh. You know. Skulls, and then they touch it. Yeah, you touch it with this thing right here, but still, they touch it with their hands. I know they do because I've seen a lot of documentaries and stuff. They touch it with their hands, man. He trying to be all scientific and all that type of stuff. Bull bite. Yeah, they. Let me go on, man. Let's stop laughing at them. Okay, so let me go on. Okay, touch dung. Okay, cool. Sorry. Oh, like okay, take away like dung till it be all gone. Verse 11. Him that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat. The Most High has it out for you, for that bloodline, his house. Him that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth in the field of Jeroboam shall the fowls of the air eat, for Yahweh had spoken it. Because to be buried is a privilege. That's why Tobit was burying Israelites, and it was a beautiful thing, you know. And he did touch the dead bodies, but he cleaned himself afterward. The reason I don't want to touch it is because I don't want to go to that. I don't want to have to, I don't want to be unclean for 7 days. Why would I want to? I wouldn't want to do that. Stay away from that thing. But yeah, so going on. If it's your family member, that is something else. You know, a Levite is only allowed to, priest was only allowed to stay with his own family's death. Those are the ones that he was allowed to touch. The other one he wasn't. But it's written somewhere in the scriptures. But let me focus on this one. Okay, verse 11. Okay, cool. So the birds are gonna eat your bodies, and the dogs are gonna eat you when you are in the because the Most High is gonna put it to where the people would just leave you that body, just leaving there. That's why when you see in, I think it was Nigeria, Where did this guy had Nigeria. In Nigeria, people see a lot of dead bodies and nobody cleans them up. Yeah, man. Hey, I saw something right there. Oh. Huh. Oh yeah, bandits were attacking. Yeah, probably, you know, whatever. They also do devil shit. They dig them up and clean the devil. Okay, that's not a thing. But yeah, people do stuff there because there's no really like a regulation anyway. Nigeria should run to call people to declare. But yeah, you have just, you know, you could find a dead body there, you know, whatever. But that's the curse of the Heavenly Father. Why? To bury, well, you're gonna see. It's gonna explain. To bury, it's a beautiful thing, and the Lord, honestly, I would think that. Let me read it, man. Okay, so it says right here, verse 11. So 1 Kings 14:11. Him that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that died in the field of Jeroboam shall the fowls eat of the air. Shall the fowls of the air eat? For Yahweh had spoken it. 12. Let me see something. Oh yeah. So here, so for this verse, I have a few precepts, which is Luke chapter 2, verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is Zion. The city of David is Zion, as you can see it here. Because a lot of people, they have like these mythical thoughts of what it is. I don't want to say mythical. It is. They have imaginary thoughts of Zion and stuff like that, but they don't know that it actually goes back to an actual city. Yes, symbolically, we are the city of. We are the people of Zion. Yes, but it's talking about the city of David in a physical form. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 1. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring up the ark of the covenant out of the city of David, which is Zion. And then they put it in in Mount Moriah, which is right there, but it's on a mount, on the top of the mountain. Then they did it there, you know. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one. Okay, so it says right here, right? Luke chapter 4. Yeah, sorry, Luke chapter 2, verse 4. Which is Bethlehem. Sorry, let me read it again. Luke chapter 2, verse 4. And Joseph went up from Galilee, which is in Naphtali, out of the city of Nazareth. Here is, no, I think I have it right. No. This one. And here you see, well, you can see it. Shit, sorry. Okay. Here, Manasseh. You have the Sea of Galilee, and then you have here's Manasseh, and here is Aram, Canaan. Well, here is actually Aram, but these devils want to call it Syro-Phoenicia, but it's actually Aram, Canaan, because later on the Aram people started to also come there too. But that's also in the scriptures, but that's something else. Okay, let me go back to over here. So okay, so And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem. That's the city of David, Bethlehem. That's Zion. Because he was of the house and lineage of David. Now, the reason I pulled this is to show you that the individual... Wait, let me get that here, actually. 1 Kings 13 and 34. And this is the thing, and this thing became sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off, and to destroy it from off of the face of the earth. So the house of Jeroboam, the Most High put that curse upon them. So the house of Jeroboam is the house of Jeroboam, and not the whole house of Ephraim. Even though it individually, yeah, they all got messed up, collectively, they all got cursed by the Lord, because they started to do wicked. But yeah, that was not talking about them. Okay, here you have first, that was talking about his individual house, Jeroboam, his individual house. Here you have the book of 2 Samuel chapter 21. Also goes into what the house of means. Verse 3. So 2 Samuel 21 verse 3. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, which are Canaanites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make an atonement, to make it good for you? Because the action of making amends for a wrong or injury, in this case for the murders that Saul did upon them, that ye may bless the inheritance of Yahweh. Because they would be, that's unfair, you made a agreement with us that the Heavenly Father said, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not break thy word. If you swear, you cannot break it. And our people swore unto the Gibeonites that we should not kill them. But Saul broke that swore. Yeah. Here. That's why Yahushua said, don't swear. So Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. When thou vowest a vow, which is a swear, here. Fuck, pussy, hoe, bitch is not a swear. That's cussing words. Because, here, swear, to make a solemn statement or promise. That's it. But it's also a vow. It's also a... Well, if you click on the word vow... Oh yeah, here, it says oath. Promise under oath. That's what I was looking for. Because if you click on vow, it's going to go to oath. That's why. It's also going to go to covenant. You shall not break my covenant. We actually, that's a vow. That's a swear. But we, you shouldn't do that in a physical form. We already made a pact with Heavenly Father through Abraham. And from then on, I should say, we had the circumcisions of your, look, when we have a blood pact with Heavenly Father, right? We circumcise the foreskin of our, you big dude, you little dude, whatever, that thing down there. And then when you have sex with your woman, which sex means to cut. So if you have sex with one woman, you cannot have sex with her again. It doesn't exist. You have intercourse with her, or relations, or whatever you want to call it. You can't have sex, because sex means to cut. It says it right here, if I'm correct. Let me see. Here. To divide and cut. What do you cut? You cut the... Wait. The hymen. What is the hymen? A thin piece of tissue surrounds and partially covers the vaginal opening. Okay, this is what you cut. You cut this. That's what you cut. That's why it bleeds. So, she makes a blood covenant with you when you cut her. And you make a blood covenant with Heavenly Father when you cut, or it is cut, for you, or whatever. But you cut that thing down there, right? So, both of you made a blood covenant. You made a blood covenant with Heavenly Father, and your wife makes a blood covenant with you. So she's supposed to stay with you. Just like we are. Pardon. Just like we are supposed to stay with Heavenly Father, but we didn't. That's why we're dying for a few thousand years. We've been fucked over for a few thousand years, because the Most High said, I was married unto you, and you committed adultery by going to other gods. Therefore, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to burn your ass with fire. I'm going to let these devils hang you, castrate you. It's kind of funny. Yeah, for funny sense. It's not my sense of humor. It's that, I don't know. It's his sense of humor, but I laugh because it's funny. I'm like, damn, he ain't playing. If you know why he did it, you're gonna laugh. Not all the time, I tell you that. But me, not all the time I laugh, but a lot of times I laugh. When thou vowest a vow unto the Heavenly Father, defer not to pay it, for he had no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed, that you swear. Better it is that thou shouldest not vow, than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin, neither say thou before the angel, it was an error. Why that it was an error? Wherefore shall the Heavenly Father be angry at thy voice, and destroy the work of thine hands? Matthew chapter 5, verse 34. 33 and 34. Again, ye have heard that it had been said by them of old time, Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform the Lord's thine oaths. You will perform your vow or your oath, which is a swear. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is the Heavenly Father's throne. Let me jump to here. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Don't do it. Don't swear. Okay. If somebody wants you to promise something, just say, okay, I promise I'll do it. Don't swear. Okay. Don't say, I'll throw. No. Don't do that one. Don't do that one. Anyway, we swore unto the Gibeonites, and then we broke that swore. Well, not we, but the Lord did collectively punish all of us, because that's what happened. And Saul did it, but yeah, we paid for it. So it says right here, verse 4, and the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold. And you can read about this in the book of Joshua chapter 9. Or was it Judges 9? Yeah, here the Gibeonite. We made a league with them, but the Lord told us not to do it. But we didn't listen, because we didn't ask him. So it says right here, verse 14, and the men took their victuals, which is their food, as an offering to us, and asked not counsel at the mouth of the Lord. They didn't ask the prophet, nothing. They should have asked the prophet, but we didn't. And Joshua made peace with them. Joshua didn't neither. And made a league with them to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. Oops, you can't break it now, because they said it right here. Therefore we may not touch them. We have sworn unto them by Yahweh, the power of Israel. Verse 19. So Joshua 9 and 19. But all the princes said unto all the congregation, we have sworn unto them by Yahweh, the power of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us. So they couldn't touch him forever. And that was evident because after Joshua died a few hundred years later, we still wasn't allowed to kill them. Not a few hundred, I think 200 years later. There's a little bit more than 100 years. Let me see. Let me think. It was a little, I think it was 100 something years later, if I'm correct. Anyway, the whole book of Judges was about 350 years. So yeah. Let me see, Acts. Here, the book of Acts. The whole book of Judges was about 450 years until Samuel. So, I made a mistake by saying 100. It's actually more than 400 years. So, from the time of Joshua, which is this book, from the time of Joshua to the time of First Samuel, was about 500 years. More than that, because it says from the time of Judges to Samuel was about, let me read it for you, Acts 13:20. And after that he gave unto them judges about the space of 450 years until Samuel the prophet. So, after Joshua, you had the book of Judges. And during the time of Judges until the time of Samuel, because in 1 Samuel chapter 1, Samuel was born. Well, eventually. But this here is about 450 years space. So that means that it was from the time of Joshua to, let me see here, from the time of here, this chapter, because Joshua was alive here until the end of the book of Joshua, and then began the book of Judges. So what, 500 something years? 500 years later, we still wasn't allowed to touch him. That's why the Lord said, don't swear. Don't swear. Don't swear at all. Yeah. Yahushua said that, don't swear. But anyway, let me go on. So it says right here. Okay. 2 Samuel 21:4. And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house. Okay, so his house, okay. Neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. We don't want that. And he said, what? So the King David said unto the Gibeonites, what ye shall say, that will I do for you. And they answered the king, King David, the man that consumed us, that individual man, and that devised against us that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Israel. Just like how you have people in America that come from different races and nations and stuff like that. They want to stick to America. They want to stick there. They also want to stick here in the Netherlands, believe me. You see a lot of... Boy, if you just walk in the city of the Netherlands, you're going to hear all kind of languages. You're going to ask yourself like, they don't love their own country. Why? Because it's better here. Why do you think they're here? Because they don't want to be there. They don't want to be in their own country. That's why. That's why. And a lot of these other countries is only beautiful when you have money. Yeah, I'm speaking the truth. Only when you have money. And Esau is hogging up all the money on the west side of Europe. They hogging up on all the money. That's why all the other people, they come to the west side of Europe. Why do you think of Polish people are in America? If Poland is so fucking great. Yeah. Bulgaria, Hungary, Ukraine. Why do you think that was before the war in Ukraine, okay? So, why they here? Why you think? That is what you had also with the Canaanites. They didn't want to leave because they had it good in the land of Israel. Because we was prosperous. And therefore, if we're prosperous, you're going to be prosperous. Because you're around us. And then, if we have fancy things, you're going to use those fancy things. Because if you think of America, for example, the equipments that they use for certain type of jobs or whatever, if you go to the other countries, it's not that they don't have it. I mean, like nowadays a lot of people have it, but still it's different. It's different. If you have ever seen cheap Chinese knockoff type of things, you have that all over the place, especially in the so-called poorer countries. You might have a battery that only works 2 days or something like that. You'd be like, what did I buy this for? Yeah, because it was cheap. That's why. If you start buying Duracell, you start paying 10 euros. You'd be like, what the fuck? For 4 batteries? 10? They made it even worse now. I think it's like what, 12, 15 euros or something like that for a few batteries. But it does last longer. So, but yeah, that's what these heathen nations, the other Caucasus nations, that's what they have. And they want to come to the ones that had the slaves. England, America, Spain, France. They had slaves. And therefore they have like a 400-year advance on, first and foremost, everybody. Actually the Israelites, I wanted to say, but also the rest of the people. They have an advance above them. Like, they started to run the race of money 400 years before everybody else. Because they made money off of us, you know. And then selling, but that's another story. Verse 6. Let 7 of his sons, this is the house of Saul, be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto Yahweh in Gibeah of Saul. Gibeah is a place where Saul ruled, because he ruled in all Benjamin, so Gibeah is in Benjamin. So basically what they're saying is, let us kill him in his own land to make it good back unto us, and hang him. Hang all of his bloodline, whom Yahweh did choose. And the King David said, I will give them. But the king spared, excuse me. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul. See, because this is also the house of Saul. Yeah. And, sorry, go on. And also, because Yahweh's because of Yahweh's oath that was between them. Why? Because he made an oath with Jonathan. That's why. He swore unto him. So guess what? He don't swear. But in this case, of course, King David is happy that he swore. But it wasn't like that back in the days. It was Yahweh Shai, and when he came, he said, don't swear. Because he's like, you're going to get into trouble if you swear, boy. That's why Esau is the devil. Because what does he want? What does he make you do? In the same Bible that it says don't swear, he makes you swear, but you don't know because you're not reading. Well, have some from a nigger, put in the book. You know, even these devils don't know. Even if they knew, they wouldn't care. You know, you got these clowns from ear to ear. Always they teeth showing compared to these devils. These devils don't laugh as much as us. You see? Not in just pictures, just all over the place. Look at this stoic motherfucker. All over the place. You see them. Jacob, they love showing their teeth. Their teeth big or something. I don't know. Got big ass teeth. They love laughing. Smiling. You know, that type of stuff. They happy as shit. But anyway, so this guy got you swearing on 2 Bibles. Not just 1. 2. A real devil right there. It says in the Bible that you're not supposed to swear. And yet he go ahead, swear. Just do it. Nothing gonna happen to you. Just do it. Because he's a snake. I said, he probably doesn't even know. It's his leaders that put him up to it. Which is custom now. Custom of the people. You know, anyway. They did it since black and white television. They did it before television. So let me just go back here. So they lost the reasoning behind like the danger that is actually behind it, I should say. They lost it. But the elites didn't lose nothing. Oh, they remember every filthy act that they did. They lie as soon as they be born. He telling a lie. Because Yahweh's oath that was between them, between who? Jonathan and King David, sorry. Between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. But the king took 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul. So these 2 are the sons of Saul, right? Admoni and Mephibosheth, which is, this one also had another name, which is Meribaal. That's his other name. So there were 2 Mephibosheth, but the one Mephibosheth, he had another name. So, so Jonathan called his son Mephibosheth, but Saul called called Jonathan his brother, another son of Saul. He called him also Mephibosheth. We had common names. If you read the book of Luke chapter, I think 1 or 2, you will see that we always had the same names. That's very confusing. So yeah. In the book of Matthew chapter 1, you will see it too, like, huh? It's the same name coming, reoccurring often. Yeah, that's because we only had a few names to give unto one another. Right. Even in Dragon Ball. You know Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball Z, right? Well, actually, Dragon Ball Super with Broly. When you see, when he hears the names, when Vegeta hears the names, right? He says, huh? Those are Saiyajin names. Who? Let me see them. He didn't see them. Well, he didn't know there was Saiyajin until he heard their name. And then he was like, hey, yo, those are Saiyajin names. Who are those guys? Yeah, these are the ones of your race that made it. That didn't get destroyed with the rest of them. Yeah, because I heard those names. See? That's how they knew, like, this guy got the Saiyan names. Well, we had Hebrew names, so when they heard us, they knew, like, oh, that's a Hebrew Israelite, because they have the same names all the time. Anyway, so it says right here, Admoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Milcah, the daughter of Saul. Milcah didn't have sons. She died childless. But these were the children of her sister, which was gotten by adultery, because they was actually promised to David. Both of the daughters were promised to David, and Saul took both of them away from him. So that's adultery. So on that note alone, he was already supposed to be put to death for that. Those 2 times he did that. The first one, which is the younger one, and then the second one, which is the older one. Both of them were espoused to David at one point in time. I think I have it here. No? Oh no, that's just the precept. Oh, I got it right here. So here. But it came to pass when, so 1 Samuel 18 and 19, but it came to pass at the time when Merab, this is the first one, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given to Adriel, the Meholathite, to wife. So, yeah, these ones were children of adultery. I'll get to the children of adultery summary here too, that they are going to be put to death. But anyway, the Heavenly Father is going to kill them. So, and here, 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 44. But Saul had given Michal his daughter, David's wife, to Palthi, the son of Laish, which is also named called Dan, the city of Dan, and Lashem, also called the city of Lashem, which was of Galim. So Michal belonged to David. I think he slept with her already, and he stole David's wife, Michal, and gave it to this guy. But the other sister of Saul, of Michal, which is the other daughter of Saul, he also stole her away. And that's this sin that Saul did. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband. So this was Meribal, the first one. The older daughter of Saul. Betrothed, engaged. They didn't have sex yet because she's a virgin, right? It says it right here. Unto a husband, a virgin. And a man find her in the city and lie with her. Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he had humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. Okay. because the Lord is going to make bad times come upon you. I'll read that later here somewhere concerning the adultery babies and stuff like that. But the point is, you are not allowed to give an engaged woman to another man. That's adultery. They didn't have sex yet, no, but they had an agreement already. It was already unwritten rule. You're not allowed to do that. They were engaged. So Saul broke off the engagement. You can't do that, but he did it anyway because he hated him. And then he gave that daughter unto another man. And then Michal, the youngest daughter of Saul, also King David already laid with that one. With the first one, he didn't lay with her. But Michal, he already laid with her because he was in her room, in her bed. What do you think they were doing? Playing PlayStation? Nah, man, they was doing, anyway. So he had that one already. That's his wife. And he took that one from him also and gave it to another man. So he committed adultery 2 times because Yahushua said it too. I don't have to. Wait. Matthew 19:9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, you don't want to know more, she got fat or whatever, except it be for fornication, except if she joined OnlyFans or if she is committing adultery with another man, or if she just walking around with see-through clothing and making men lust after her and flirting, you kick that bitch away too, man, because it's going to lead to, it's already spiritual, mental adultery, so it's going to lead to physical adultery. You get that bitch out of here, man. And shall marry another, committed adultery. So if you put your wife away for stupid reasons, and then you go and be with another, you committed adultery already. Why? And why? Because you're allowed to have multiple wives. Yeah, but because of this. And whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery. That's the point. That's how you commit adultery, because most of the time she's not going to stay alone. Women can't really do that. Nowadays, Esau is making it to where the women can buy plastic online and basically, screwdriver themselves with plastic, and therefore they will get to their comings, I should say, and then therefore they really don't need a man to a certain degree, unless they really want to desire the physical form. But other than that, yeah, because Esau has a lot of porn and all that, so they can get a little bit of tastes, the little taste buds, and fantasize and look at stuff and stuff like that, imagine penetration, whatever, and therefore they're not that desperate. But if you was to take away all that, women would throw themselves at you, because a woman is a different breed. They can't not be looked at. If you don't give them attention, they are either suicidal, something happens to them. Something happens because they're different. Not all of them, but the most of them. The big bulk majority of them. They need something to just stare. Oh, I got many looks today. Then they count how many looks they got today. When you're walking on the street, they count 1, 2, and when it's too much, they just stop counting. But if it's not a lot, they count it. I got one stare today. Oh my goodness, nipples got hard. Ooh. Just from that stare. But if you take that all away, then they would lose their fucking mind. They would throw themselves at you just to be loved. But anyway, so. Right, so no, you can't do that, and that's what Saul did. So the point is, his household got killed for it. Yeah, so these ones were not of his household specifically, but it was through, because those other 5 sons were of the daughter of Saul, but it was actually the other sister. She was only like a surrogate mother. You could let me see. Yeah, surrogate mother, which is when you have no child and then another woman brings forth children in your name. Sarah did that. Sarah said, because Sarah was barren, and she said, let my servant Hagar bring forth children unto me, unto my name, and then I will live through her with the joy of having a child, so that I can take care of him. I want to have a child, so I want to take care of him. I want to give breastfeed, feed, and stuff like that. I want to have the joy. So, ooh, he walked his first steps. Ooh, stuff like that. I want to have it. So yeah, that's what women desire. Normally, a normal woman. If they shave the sides of their head, that's not a normal woman. This is not a normal woman. This is not normal. Once you see this, you should already know what type of spirits is on there. Even the women with short hair, you can look at them like, oh, God damn it. It's one of those. But not all of them, actually. I've seen a few that they just like short hair. So I do understand that. But anyways, let me go on. So it says right here. Yeah, I don't need to read this. This is also basically the same thing. And all the bloodline of him got killed. But these ones that got killed from the other sister, those were adultery babies. So it was not the bloodline of Saul, the house of Saul. It was through the daughter of Saul, which is flesh of him. It is his grandchildren, so his daughter's children, sorry, which is his grandchildren. But they came from another man. I just showed you here, which is this one, his children, and also this one. But yeah, this one, she didn't get children with him because Michael died childless. I had it right here. Yeah, Michael died childless. But she did have sex with that other man, which is adultery, so yeah. But yeah, she couldn't control anything because he's the king. And if you fuck with him, he'd kill you. Yeah, man. If you make him angry. He was not a good man. In the beginning, he was very good. He was perfect. But then, people change. Fame and power can make a person corrupt. It's possible. Okay, so here's basically the bloodline of Saul. Yeah, I don't need to read it. 1 Kings 13. Okay, I need to read that too. So, okay, going back to over here. Damn, what is going on? Sorry. Okay, wow, sorry about that. Okay, now this is 1 Kings chapter 14 verse. 11. No, 12. Arise thou therefore, get thee to thine house. So this is what the prophet told the wife of Jeroboam that came to try to fool him. And when thy feet enter into the city, the child shall die. So let me okay, go on. And all Israel shall mourn him and bury him, for he only of Jeroboam shall come to the grave, because in him there is found some good thing toward Yahweh, the power of Israel, in all the house of Jeroboam. So all the bloodline of Jeroboam, there was only one that was good. All of the rest of them are not good. Therefore, the Most High is going to kill all of them, and he will, because in the next chapter he killed them. But still, it was already prophesied that they would die, right? But one of them was good. So the Most High had at least mercy on him to bury him in a decent, what? That's not what I typed in, man. in a decent grave. And they didn't put you in a coffin back in the days. Remember with Yahushua, when they came up out the grave? Yeah, they was not in a coffin. It was like this. I didn't even see it. But yeah, they could stick their hand out of the dirt, because back in the days you didn't put people in a coffin. Maybe if they was rich, but then you would have a sepulcher, which is outside. Here, sepulcher. What the hell is going on, man? Anyway, so you had here dead bodies are in there. I hope you, sepulcher. Here, tombs. Here. Well, this is a sepulcher. They might make it pretty on the outside. Let me see. Here, this is what I'm looking. So, the graves in Mexico that are better than many houses, these are sepulchers, man. They have millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that they most likely left behind for their family members to bury them with. And then they be building these Roman palaces and stuff like that with a balcony that nobody will go to. Or these houses look better than a lot of these houses that they have there in that house. You think a bunch of rich people were living here if you go there, but if you go in here, it's only a dead bone, a dead body in there. It's beautiful on the outside. Well, it's not this beautiful, but it's beautiful on the outside and but filled with dead man's bones. These are graves. Sepulchers. Right. So, okay, I have a few precepts on this one, and I'm gonna finish them up in the video after this. I'm gonna hit them up in the video after this.